Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to Stream of Conscious Knits. My name is Francesca and I'm a knitter based in Vancouver, Canada, and today I'm here to do a little bit of a review of my 2025 goals, intentions, and knitting plans, and I want to set my 2026 goals, intentions, and knitting plans. I actually, this time of year last year when I set my 2025 goals, intentions, etc., I was already planning to start a YouTube channel. I just hadn't quite gotten to it yet. So I was already thinking in terms of like what format would be good to talk about my goals in a YouTube video. So that's kind of like what made me write them down. And even though I never ended up making a video on it or anything, they were actually really useful to have throughout the year. So that's why I'm doing it again. I'm going to talk about all the goals and intentions first for both years, and then I'm going to talk about the plans after. So I actually last year, in terms of goals and intentions, I kind of brain dumped. I went really detailed and I had a really long list. But I went back now and I kind of condensed them into 5 major themes. So the first thing that, this isn't really a goal, it's more of like an intention for the year that I had, was to be kind to myself if I could not follow some of the goals and intentions that I had, and just to remember that these were kind of like guidelines to come back to if I was feeling, uninspired, or I just needed to kind of go back to some initial ambitions for the year. So I feel like I was really nice to myself. So I am going to keep this same intention for 2026. Like, the last thing I want to do with my hobby is feel like I'm failing at it. So I'm keeping that major intention consistent from last year. Now, my first goal from 2025 was to knit from stash and buy commercial affordable yarn. And yeah, I didn't do that. I completely failed at that. No, we don't use the word fail. But I didn't follow that at all. I bought so much hand-dyed yarn and I increased my stash dramatically, and I am now feeling overwhelmed by my stash. So yeah, this one is definitely going to carry as my first goal of 2026, but I think I'm gonna slightly tweak it. I'm gonna say knit from stash. I have a ton of beautiful yarns. I need to knit with them. Like, they can't just be sitting in my stash forever. Like, I want to knit with them. I think I just also get excited about all the new yarns, but I need to really knit from stash. And I'm gonna put the goal of buying less hand-dyed yarn. So like, I'm allowed to buy hand-dyed yarn for, say, accessories, gift knits, socks, but I'm not allowed to buy sweater quantities. I think that's what I'm gonna try to follow this year. Yes. The second goal for 2025 was to learn more about fibers and knitwear design. I mean, here's the thing. The more you knit and the more you try new yarns, the more you learn about fibers. And the more you knit new patterns, the more you learn about design. Like, it's kind of like, you don't even have to try to kind of do that. But my new goal for 2026 is going to be more intentional about this, because I actually really, really want to learn how to design my own garments. I have lately been freehanding quite a few things, but that also comes because I have no knowledge of how to do it. It gets very frustrating. I have to frog, and it's just like, I think I just get really, really frustrated because I don't really know what I'm doing in the first place. And obviously, I could keep doing trial and error and I would eventually get there. But in 2026, my new goal is to take a class on pattern designing or garment construction or something like that, or buy a book about it, and through that actually learn more like theory of how to construct garments and how to make designs. So yeah, I'm going to be more specific with my goals so that I actually, you know, so that I can be on the lookout for if I see a class online or if I see a book in a store, I can actually be like, oh, actually, I did want to do this year. So my third goal for 2025 was do not commit to gift knits under any circumstances. I made I think half of what I made this year was gift knits. So I think this one I was coming off of making a bunch of gift knits with deadlines that had made me feel stressed, and I just wasn't enjoying that feeling. So I was like, that's it, we're not making any more gift knits. However, what I found out this year is that if I just either give myself enough time or not give myself a deadline, I actually really, really enjoy knitting for other people. So I think that goal just isn't relevant anymore for me in 2026. So my new goal is to knit gift knits because it makes me happy. I really, really enjoy knitting for other people, but do not give yourself deadlines. Fourth goal for 2025 was get into YouTube content creation and everything that includes, and then not be so perfectionist about my videos. So even if it's not a great hair day, it's okay to film, you know? And I feel like I have done that this year. It definitely took, I was planning to do it way earlier last year, in 2025. But I ended up getting into it more towards the end of this year. But that's okay. I feel like I did well with that, and I am trying to not be so hard on myself. Just put your content out there. It will get better with time. And I have done that. For 2026, the goal is to grow this YouTube channel. So actually, post regularly, maybe make a schedule for filming and editing and prepping and posting so that I can stay consistent with it. Then my last goal of 2025 was to be more involved with the local knitting community. I absolutely did this. I went to a lot of knit nights this year. I went to a lot of knitting events. I went to yarn festivals. So I think I really did well with that. And I am going to continue, but I took this off of my goal list because I feel like this has become just a regular part of my life. So I don't need to set a goal for it anymore. It's just I'm already doing it. So that one is gone. And in its place, I have put a new goal. And the new goal is it's okay to knit what is enjoyable, but I need to let my wardrobe needs guide me. I feel like I haven't been too bad at it. I wear all my knitted garments quite a bit. However, I feel like there's a few of them that I wear because I made them, not because I have to make an effort to figure out what to wear them with. And I think I want it to be more seamless in 2026. So I would like for my wardrobe needs to guide me even more. So, I'm missing a black sweater. That is perhaps not the most exciting thing to knit, a black sweater, but it is very useful. And given the fact that since I started knitting, I just can't bring myself to buy sweaters. I just can't do it. I feel like every time I'm why would I buy this when I can knit it? So I think I just need to actually follow up on that. I keep not buying a black sweater because I feel like I can knit it, but then I keep not knitting it because it's boring. So I need to make some decisions, I need to either buy it and just know that I'm not gonna knit it, or actually let this wardrobe need guide me towards yarn choice and pattern choice. So that's my new goal. Now moving on to knitting plans. Now, in 2025, I made 2 lists of knitting plans. One was actual, I want to make this pattern with this yarn. That didn't work out at all. I didn't make a single thing on my Make 9. Not a single thing. Because, you know, like you end up using those yarns for something else, and then maybe a new pattern comes out that inspires you more. So the Make 9 really didn't work out, and I'm not going to do it again. Like, it's just not. I'm more of a spontaneous knitter, I feel, where like if something else is inspiring me, I'm not going to just like try to stick to an initial plan that I had if I'm not excited for it anymore. So yeah, that didn't work. However, then I made a second list. And the second list was, I called it a wish list. And I actually really, really like that word, because being a wish list, it not calling it a plan now doesn't make me feel like, oh, I didn't fulfill the plans that I had. No, I had a wish list. Oh, what did I manage to knit from my wish list? And it feels less of a constraint. So I'm going to continue calling it a wish list. And this wish list that I made, I'm going to go through it with you, was less with specific patterns and yarns. It was more of like what wardrobe needs, or like something that I would like to knit, but more of a category. So like color work socks, or like, you know, something more vague, and then I could pick and choose pattern and yarn within that. And I think that actually worked really, really well. So I'm going to go through with you all the wish list items that I had for 2025, and then we're going to make a new wish list together for 2026. Okay, so I've got my 2025 wish list open. The first thing, my wish list item number 1 in 2025 was a cabled cardigan. I wanted it to be either collared or have a round neckline, and I wanted it to be burgundy. I did not knit this. I did not knit this because I was already knitting quite a few texture things, and they were exhausting. They were taking up so much of my time and energy that I just could not bring myself to start yet another textured sweater. So this did not happen, but we'll see if it happens in 2026. Now, wish list item number 2 was lace socks, possibly avoiding cables, and I want it to be a pastel color. So I actually did do this. I will put up pictures of the items that I did knit. I knit the Midsummer Dancer socks by Sari Nordland in Focolana Arwetta in the color light blue. So these are like exactly what I described here. I can't say that they are really wearable. I don't think lace socks are really something that you're able to wear on the daily. So I did knit this. It wasn't as glorious as I thought it was going to be as a finished object. Wishlist item number 3, cabled pullover. So I wanted this to be seamless top down, and I wanted it to be kind of a feminine style and color. I did do this. So it's not finished actually, but I cast on, it's been on my needles for like 12 months, but last January I cast on the Heart Chain Sweater by From Mayo in Cascades 220 in the color Helleborus Heather, which is like this like heather pink. So I think I hit the nail right on the head here. I still have the necklines and the sleeves left to do, but I can say this was a success because I cast it on and I'm trucking along. Wishlist item number 4 was a staple dark cardigan. So I wanted this to be just like a very basic design, gray or black with buttons and not a lot of positive ease. This I gave up on. This I figured out that what I wanted was something really, really thin. And I figured out that I just was not going to be able to knit something hand knit at the really thin gauge that I wanted. Like I just wanted it to be super thin. So I would have had to knit something with like light fingering or lace on like 2.5 millimeter needles to get what I wanted. And I was just not willing to knit a cardigan for the next 10 years of my life. So I just actually purchased something like this. I just bought myself one and now I have it and I don't have to knit one myself and I can knit something that's more fun. Wishlist item number 5 was a Christmas sweater. I wanted it to be subtle but festive and no more than 2 colors in a row. I did complete this. I made the Northern Augustins number 4 by Augustins DK. I know some people may say that this one is not subtle, but I guess that's obviously like something subjective. I find it to be subtle, like especially with the colors I chose, which is like a chocolate brown with the color work in like a cream color. I feel like that's not, it doesn't scream Christmas at you, but it is like if you wear it for Christmas, people are gonna get it. But if you wear it for like just on a regular day, it doesn't, nobody's gonna think why she's wearing this Christmas sweater. So I find that to be subtle enough for me. I absolutely love that sweater. And I knit it in Cascades Eco Highland Duo, undyed, in the color Fudge Brownie, I want to say, held together with Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in the color Chocolate. And then the color work I did it with Barocco Lanas in the color Buttercream, held together with Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in the color Elderflower. Can't believe I remembered all that. But yeah, so that was a success. Wishlist item number 6 was a V-neck sweater with lots of positive ease and ribbing, and I wanted a speckled yarn held with a lace. So I almost did this. I ordered a yarn to make this exact plan, and I wanted to make the Harlow sweater V-neck by Kadri, and I started it, and then I really didn't like how the yarn looked, so I frogged it. However, I have tweaked this and I am making something of the sort. So I am currently about to cast on, and I have all the yarn and I'm ready. I'm about to cast on, I think it's going to be either the Stockholm sweater V-neck by Petite Knit or the Saharan sweater V-neck by Coco Amour Knitwear. I have sock yarn, a speckled sock yarn. It's white with these really subtle blue and pink speckles. And I have Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in the color Snowflake. And the sock yarn is Serial Knitter's Cherry Creek sock in the color Blushing Bones. And with those, I'm going to make a V-neck sweater. So I am following this. However, I've changed one of the things that I want. I don't want lots of positive ease anymore. I've decided that I actually want it to be fitted. That's why those 2 patterns that I mentioned have a little bit less positive ease than other patterns that I've seen around. So that's why I chose them. So I haven't quite completed this, but I do finally have all the yarn exactly the yarn that I wanted to make it. So this is going to happen. Then my wish list item number 7 was colorwork socks. And I wanted something with fruit and flowers and maybe Christmas themes. And this did not really happen. I tried making multiple colorwork socks this year, and I just every single one was a fail. Like either the size was wrong or the colorwork was too tight and I couldn't get it over my foot, or like I just kept failing. So this is something that I'm interested in general, so I am going to keep trying. But yeah, I didn't really complete this. Like I tried, but I kind of failed. So those were all my 2025 wish list items. And now really exciting, we're going into 2026 wish list items that I put together last night, and I'm actually really excited about them. So you will see the difference when I put them up, but for 2026, the inspo boards that I put together for each of these wish list items doesn't only include pattern pictures. Like in 2025, I put only pattern pictures from Ravelry, while in 2026, I feel like for quite a few of them, I just haven't quite figured out what possible patterns to use. So I've actually included pattern pictures and I've included just Pinterest pictures of like the vibe that I'm going for. So hopefully this will help me even further when later on in the year I'm trying to look for patterns for this. So as I go through them, I might mention a couple of patterns if I remember them. But I will be talking more of, I'm going even more vague this year. Like I'm just going for like a vibe, and then I'll have to figure out specific patterns for a lot of these later on in the year when I actually cast them on. Okay, so 2026 wishlist item number 1 is some matching accessories. So I feel like over the last few years, I made a lot of accessories, but they were mostly for other people. Like I don't have a ton of knitted accessories for myself that I've knitted. So I would like to actually knit some for myself, and I am currently, I've already casted on a couple. And I would like them to be matching colors, because I do have a couple that I've knitted for myself, but like I have a beanie and I have some gloves and I have a scarf, but all of them are different colors. So like nothing goes with each other. So sometimes, and that's fine because a lot of the times you just wear one knitted item and that's it. But sometimes I would like to, maybe it's really cold outside and I need a hat and gloves and a scarf. And I would like for those to all be knitted by me, but they don't go with each other. So my new plan is to make some accessories that actually match in color. And I have started this. The colors that I want, it could either be pops of color or basic colors. Like I feel like I need some of everything. So I'm not gonna be strict. Like also like whatever, like maybe I have a skein of sock yarn that I'm not gonna use for socks and I'll use that. But I definitely want to make sure that my accessories match a little bit better. I do have a couple of pattern pictures on this. One is the Salanova scarf and wrist warmers by May Knits. I finished the wrist warmers, and the scarf I'm almost done with, and they are knit in the same yarn and they look fantastic. I am so excited to wear them. And then the other pattern picture, I think it's called the Luna set. And it's also a set of a scarf and a wrist warmer. But there's a ton out there. Like Olin Knitwear has all of her accessories. I think every single one of the accessories that she has on her website is a set. So it's like a hat and gloves, or a scarf and a hat. And they look really, really cute. But I think I don't necessarily need it to be all like, the pattern doesn't need to be a set, you know what I mean? Like I can just find a scarf and a pair of gloves that go well together in terms of design and then knit them in the same yarn. But yeah, I definitely want to continue with this. I think this is going to be a success. I have multiple plans for this. Then wishlist item number 2 is, we're bringing it back, is a colored cable cardigan. I want it to be burgundy, to have like a vintagey feel and little positive ease. So this is the exact same as I had in 2025. I'm really obsessed with the idea of having a burgundy cable cardigan, and I'm going for like a dark academia vibe. I have a few patterns in mind for this, but nobody has released the perfect pattern. Like I cannot find the perfect pattern. I have a few that I could merge to get the look that I want, but there isn't a perfect one. But so here I have some pattern pictures. So I have the Maisie cardigan that literally just came out yesterday by M Knits. And she has a burgundy sample actually that she made, that she doesn't have really pictures online, so I couldn't put it here, but it looks perfect. However, it doesn't have the collar. Like I really, really wanted to have a collar. The perfect collar, the collar that got me obsessed with this idea is from the Uyuni cardigan. I can't remember the designer, but it's that pink one in the picture. and it has this double knit button band and the color coming out of it that looks absolutely perfect. Like I want that. So what I could do is do the Maisie cardigan and then just like substitute the button band and the collar. But these are very different gauges. So I would have to like very much figure out the count on my own. And I know the other problem with the Maisie cardigan is it's a sport, like it's on a really thin gauge, and I could barely, like, it's taken me a year and I haven't even finished with a worsted weight cable sweater. So I don't know how I could get through a sport weight one. Like, but it's perfect. Look at it. Like it's a vintage feel in burgundy. It would be perfect. But it doesn't have the color. So yeah, so you know what I mean? Like it's almost perfect, but it's not perfect. And then the other one that I found that I actually really like and would be a lot lower effort. It's a drops cardigan, so it's a free pattern. And it only has those very vintage looking diamond cables in the front, but then the back is all just moss stitch. I think moss stitch or seed stitch, one of them. So this would actually be a lot less work. So I feel more confident that I would actually finish this project. I hate the button band. So I could substitute this with the uni cardigan button band. I feel like this substitution would be easier. So maybe, but I'm just like, there is one pattern that is almost perfect that Lily Kit France is working on. It's not released yet. I don't know what it's called, but she's knitting this very vintage looking cardigan with cables and a collar. Now the problem I have with that one is the collar is too small. And you know, you would say, oh, just make it longer. I could, but then there's another problem. That her button band and the collar, like, I don't know how to explain it, but she'll have like the button band sticks out. So like the button band is here and the collar is not part of the button band. So like the collar then, I don't know how to describe it. The button band is cast off here, and then on the side of your neckline you have the collar. So I just feel like it looks weird. There's a lot of designs that are like that, but I really, really like the look of the uni cardigan where the collar is actually attached to the button band. I'll put some pictures because I feel like I'm explaining it really badly. But that is another issue that I had with the Lily Kate France one. I also don't know what the gauge is on that one. Like, I have absolutely no idea. She made it to be a long one. I would have to shorten it dramatically to look like I wanted it to look. I don't know. I feel like I would have to make a bunch of changes, and I don't know if I'm down for that. Anyway, I really want this to happen. I really want this to happen for fall 2026. So I hope it happens this year. This can be like, I can save all my textured knitting and just like have this be my one textured project this year, because otherwise I get overwhelmed. Then, wish list item number 3. I want a poncho. My friend and I feel like for months, we were watching The Gilded Age last summer, and The Gilded Age, they have these like magnificent capes. And we were like, we should bring back capes. I feel like we need capes and ponchos a lot more than we currently have in society. So every time there's a poncho or cape pattern that comes out that we like, send it to each other and we go, bring back capes, bring back ponchos. Yeah, I think we will. I actually have started knitting one. So I started knitting the Bloomlit poncho by, I don't know how to pronounce the pattern designer name, Milot by Vic. I don't know. But it's a summer one. It's a worsted weight summer poncho. And I started knitting it at the end of the summer, and then the summer ended, so it's on hold. I'm really excited about that one, though, because I feel like all summer I was like, I wish I had a poncho. You know when you're on the beach and you're kind of cold, but like not really? And a cotton poncho would really do the trick? Yes. But I also want to make a winter poncho. I have a few pattern pictures actually on here. I have the Isaeva poncho by woolen knitwear. The Darcy cape by Lynette, I want to say. And there's the other poncho that I forget the name of by Nordgard Knitters. I will put it on the screen if I'm wrong about that. But yeah, I have a few pattern pictures on here. I definitely want, like, I want to finish my summer one, but I want a winter one as well. The problem is maybe we'll get done next fall because honestly I have too much to knit now and not enough time. So I don't know that I really have the time to knit a poncho as well. I said that I wanted a classic color that goes with everything. Yeah, because I feel like ponchos, I'm not gonna have 15 ponchos, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna have a couple ponchos and those are enough. So you don't want it to be like a statement poncho that then you can't style at all. 2026 wishlist item number 4 is a colorwork ski sweater. I gotta get this done. And I haven't figured out, I think like it would be cool to have just like a ugly ski sweater, like with like actual skiers on it. There's a ton of patterns for that on Etsy actually. But I think I want something more like the classic Nordic, you know, like snowflake type of thing. And I have a few pattern pictures on here. One is the Esther by Scapel, and one is the Nordic Snowflake Sweater Chunky by Kokomur Knitwear. She also has like a fine version, but I really like this one because like the snowflakes are really big. And yeah, this is definitely giving me, there's a ton of inspo for this. There's also another pattern picture in here. I think it's the Glint sweater. But the one that I think I'm going to end up making this one just because I think it just looks so beautiful is the Crystolin cardigan. And that is by Knits Pour Moi or Sumin Kim. And I think just the color is stunning. And I think this one is steeked. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's steeked and I really want to steek. I really, really would like to learn how to steek. And I definitely would like some light blue involved in it. So like, I don't know if I want the sweater to be light blue and the color work to be either white or maybe burgundy or something like that. Or if I want it to just copy exactly what is on here. So with like just like a white or cream color with the light blue color work on it. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. Pink would also be cute for the collar work. I'll have to see. But I'm really obsessed with that cardigan. I might change my mind throughout the year. And then there's a ton of patterns that I can pick from. But that one is currently has stolen my heart. Now this one, wishlist item number 5, is elegant going out tops. So I've been thinking about this all year. Like since beginning of 2025, I've been thinking I really want to make some more elegant tops. Like I don't want all my knitting to be oversized sweaters, sweatshirts that I wear around the house, or just like I want some fancy stuff, you know, like I want to go out on date night and wear one of my sweaters. And I already do that because Vancouver's a very casual place, but I just would like some more elegant pieces. And I actually think every single one of these pictures here these are all pattern pictures actually, because I just had like a ton of inspo on Etsy and Ravelry. But I definitely want some summer ones. I want some winter ones. For winter, I want some, you know, made with mohair. And I already have some in the works. Like I have the Malou blouse by Sandnes Garn that I'm making with 2 strands of mohair. And then I have ordered yarn for sparkly, what's it called? Blouse number 1 light by My Favorite Things Knitwear. So I'm gonna have 1 strand of cerise lace and 1 strand of sequin yarn for that. So I'm definitely like, these are in the works, but I want to make even more. And then final wish list item for 2026 is some closet staples. I need to stop making statement pieces. I feel like I just need some, like, I need like a white sweater and a gray sweater and a black sweater, and I need like with a classic design. And I feel like I save all these classic designs because they're beautiful. All of these are also pattern pictures because there was so much to pick from. Like there's the Hanny cardigan, the Diane cardigan by Cookie the Knitter, the Lakes Pullover V-neck by Ozetta, and just like all of these are pattern pictures because there's so much to pick from for more classic designs. And I want these to be in stapled, like when I say staple colors, it doesn't have to be, like I said, white, gray, and black. It would be good to have a white one, a gray one, a black one, but it could also just be like maybe a muted red, or, you know, like something that I'm able to wear on the daily without feeling like it's a statement sweater all the time. Because sometimes you want to wear a statement pant or a statement, you know, another statement item, so you can't just have statement everything because then it's a mess of colors. So I just need to make some more staple garments for summer and for winter. I have a ton of yarn. I just need to pick a pattern that goes with it. There's a million to pick from. So yes, this was my final wish list item. We've gone through them all. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for these plans. I definitely have some in the works and some that, most of these are already kind of in the works. So I actually made a bundle with all the patterns that are kind of inspiring me for this 2026 wish list. Like if you saw a pattern picture on here, on these photos, it's definitely in the bundle as well because I've added all of these to the bundle. So thank you so much for listening. Happy knitting. I hope this gave you some 2026 inspiration. It definitely helped me. Like preparing for this video helped me get all my thoughts in line for 2026, and it was really fun. So I'm really enjoying this YouTube channel thing. I hope you guys are enjoying watching. Have a great 2026. Have a great year of knitting, and I'll see you on the next video.